Yeah.
Oh, hey, well, here we go. So we're live at the Land of Kush. We told everybody we were having this meet up, eat up with Dawn Tree. So she's here. And she's going to talk to us about the art that she has on the wall and, experience with having the art displayed on the wall. And Dawn, you can start however you want to start. You can tell them why you're here. Why is your art at the Land of Kush?
Yeah, I'm here because Naja and her husband Greg were amazing. I met them at the University of Maryland.
Oh,
and,
I remember that.
Yeah, you bought like my shirts and you were just super supportive. And your food was amazing. And so then you invited me to come. You were like, yo, I love your stuff. You can come and put it on the wall. So I've been here for almost 3 years now.
Have you sold anything?
Yeah, I've sold out of here. And so I'm appreciative of the space that you all are presenting for local artists and just black people, a healthy space to eat. And so I created this new series called...
Well, let me just say something before you say something.
Yeah.
This is a perfect time because Land of Kush is in its 9th year. We've been 9 years open at 840 North Utah Street in Baltimore.
You know how hard
I'm just showing some of the art that Dawn Tree's gonna talk about. I just want to give people an idea of the art because we have so much art in here. But this is the art that we're going to be explaining today. When you come in here, you can see the bio and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, Dawn.
So I just got back from a 5-month artist residency in Ghana.
Oh, wow. How was that?
Oh, it was amazing. But it took a lot out of me. I was focused on the political and social issues. And so I have a series up now in the crop. But coming back, I wanted to focus on myself. So that's where the self-love plus spiritual show came from. So I created 4 pieces. One is in DC right now. But if you see here, this one's called Highly Spiritual. And it's very well textured. And the skyline is here and it goes to the mountain, to an Ankh, which is the Egyptian cross. And it represents more of the womb. The cross that we traditionally follow now is pretty erect. And the Greek basically introduced that. And so if we come back, this symbol is a Dinkra symbol, it's a Ghanaian symbol that means all powerful, God is powerful. And this one means being open to God. So this piece is strictly for my spiritual relationship and how I view it. And then this one is really close to my heart. Also, if anything, it's highlighting my masculine and feminine tendencies, which all of us usually have,
Yeah.
If it's balanced or not.
I think Billy D. Williams was trying to explain that at one time recently, and people took it all out of context. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah, he had an interview, and he was talking about that, and I think people kind of took it out of context, but that's just my... because he didn't know what they were talking about when the backlash came.
I don't know if I got that memo.
Yeah, you got to look that up.
And then, so I put the face...
He was talking about his feminine side, and people took that like, oh, he's gay.
Yeah, okay.
But, yeah. He
not.
wasn't trying to explain it that way. So I think...
So this is explaining it through my art.
Right.
And I have a lioness here, which in Mother Nature, the lioness will go out and hunt. And it's the prominent one that hunts. So the man doesn't hunt, the lion. The lion...
I'm just joking, y'all. Don't take it seriously.
But they will protect the woman. So if the woman needs help, they'll go and help.
Right.
And this symbol...
As they should.
It represents energy, and so I thought it was very prevalent. It's another Dinkra symbol, and in the back there's like 3 circles that represent the Trinity to me. So I paint on the ground. I put the painting on the ground because it helps the paint dry. If I have it up, the paint will just come down. So I like to control the paint, and with doing that, it's on the ground. And then Jackson Pollock is an artist and that I look up to. He painted on the ground. Okay. And then Basquiat is a big inspiration of mine too. Okay. And Salvador Dali, he's inspired by this piece. He's got a piece about temptation. And so I don't know if you see the dollar bill.
I was going to ask about that. The Dali, is that why the dollar bill is in there?
Well, Dali had a piece where it was elongated horses and elephants, and they had gold, a lot of gold relics, and naked women even. But it all represented temptation, and so you have the Apple symbol there, and the computer, the iPhone.
Where's the Apple? Point that. Oh, I see
Yeah,
it.
the Apple symbol.
Okay. Yeah, you had a piece in here with the map of Africa in it that was amazing, that sold. So I really started paying attention to art. The art, when I saw it, I'm like, wow, there's a map of Africa in here. Like, it's so amazing.
Before I think it was in here for a little bit before I explained it. And
Right,
you didn't even see it.
right.
But that's why I like abstract and surreal. Sometimes you see things that you don't see.
Right.
And then even people come and they present. Somebody said they saw like a mermaid back here.
Oh, they did?
Like the face and her breast maybe, and then the fin. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah, that's one thing about art. People can interpret it the way they want to interpret it, but it's always great to hear from the artist's standpoint what they were trying to portray in the art. So.
Especially if it's not so realistic, you know. My stuff it can bleed into something that is a real image to something that's just an emotion, you know, and a lot of it is emotion to me. Like the gold represents royalty in this piece, and the varnish, the black, is kind of wrestling with the royalty. So, you know, your flesh, that's how I view it, is wrestling with your high true spiritual self, you know. And these are some old pieces.
We can talk about that while you're here.
Yeah.
There's people looking. We have viewers.
Okay.
They're interested in hearing about the art. Hey, everyone that's watching. We appreciate you taking the time out to listen to Dawn Tree's explanation of art here.
So the Eye of Horus comes from Egyptian hieroglyphs, and the horse is the sky god. So I really appreciate the sky and the protector inside of it. And you can see how abstract it is. And I use spray paint and latex acrylic. And this is all wood.
All wood, yes. Everything
wood.
has been on all wood, which is amazing.
Yeah, when I lived in D.C. and here in Baltimore, you can find wood everywhere. You can walk through the alley and find it. So it's almost like upcycling, you know, recycling, and making something from nothing, you know. Right. So being an artist can be expensive, and so it's good to be able to find, and it connects me to the city even, you know.
Nice.
I have a story to tell.
Nice.
And these particular pieces of wood I got in North Carolina, and this woman, we got to talking about slavery, and she wanted to bring up the Holocaust, but as we talked more, she just gave me the wood. She was like, "This is not the wood."
The energy was there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
what about this piece up here that you have?
this is Nova Rays. So it's inspired by the sun. My name is Dawn, so I look to the sun a lot for inspiration. That's really how I got into Egyptian culture a bit. They have a sun disk called Aten that they basically reverence. Queen Nefertiti is giving it gifts. So just the power of the sun, that's really this piece. And I layer a lot, and I drip paint a lot, and there's a spray paint in there, and then I was messing around with these records, vinyl records, and melting them. And so it's broken apart. And then I put epoxy on top to kind of make it shiny. And or polyurethane. So it's close to my heart, you know. A lot of people resonate in different ways. So.
Debbie says, very nice.
Oh, thank you. The last piece that was in here that sold was called Oh Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore, right.
It was when Freddie Gray was going on, and I created it. I mean, the outrage more so, because the spirit is still here of Freddie Gray. But it was like, you know, the row houses were on it, and this couple, they said they kept on coming in and seeing it, and they contacted me when I was in Oklahoma, and they bought it. So I was like, that's what's up.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, they were a white couple too.
Yes,
so,
yes, I remember.
You know, yeah.
That's the one I took the picture.
There we go.
Yes, I remember that.
The art translates to anybody and everyone, so that's what I try to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Walking in. How are you? What else would you do? What kind of tips would you give to aspiring artists that are, you know, maybe following the same style, you're following similar styles, or just any tips?
I would say find a style. Find a style.
Right, because everybody's style is different.
Yeah. I did a show.
Well, they don't have one, like you said, so find one.
There we go. Because I was drawing, painting, whatever from early, but I did a show in D.C. and I was using these records. that I got at the thrift store and just started painting on them, melting them. And the piece sold. I wasn't even there, and I was like, oh, I need to make more of that. And so that's where this kind of style has developed from, really. But, you know, you don't want to get so much into what somebody wants and is sellable, but at the same time, you want to develop your own style.
Right,
that's key.
exactly.
And then
it's the branding piece.
Yeah. And if people tell you no, keep going. Right. Carve out your own space. I would find untraditional spaces in DC. Hit up. I mean, it's so easy. Once you actually go to the place and say, oh, I want to have a show here, it's usually very streamlined. And I would say learn how to do your own promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Learn how to
I can tell you all about that.
There we
promotion,
go.
Promotion,
yes.
promotion.
I mean, that's key.
Most important
you
thing.
Can't just set up something. You got to be able to advertise and get people in there.
Right. It's like having a good product and you think everybody's just going to come. You still got to sell it.
Yeah. And even if, you know, say you're being commissioned to do this and that, you got to do things in between. That's what, you know, I'm over here, I'm over there, I'm in this state, this country, you know, you got to make it happen. And a lot of times you got to put in your own money as an artist. But you got to find ways to be sustainable and juggle. So I do graphics and web design at the same time.
Lisa Brown White says it's beautiful. Love the feature on the artist, her process, inspirations, and techniques. This inspires me to pick up my paints.
Okay.
So you got Lisa out
inspired.
there.
That's
inspired. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else would you like to tell us?
Let's see.
Are we following you, Dawn? That's what we're doing. Where we going? Hey, how's it going?
So I wrote a book also.
Okay, let's talk about the book.
Yeah.
Oh, Tulsa's Black Wall Street. Yeah, that's been up, 1921, right?
There we go. The biggest massacre in history. And so
Watchmen
I lived there.
You know what's interesting? The Watchmen is giving people like this, and people that didn't even realize this happened. Now it's opening the dialogue about what happened.
Small.
Black history,
That show is crazy. It has nothing to do with Tulsa, but
I know, but it's
I'm
opening the dialogue.
Yeah.
I saw some Facebook comments from some folks,
Yeah.
white folks, that they didn't know that happened. Like,
Really?
now you see what America was about at that time.
Yeah, seriously. So I published this book, and it's been out for like 6 months. I was in Ghana for 5 months, so I'm just now promoting it, really. And this is one of my first graphic art pieces.
Oh, wow.
So I use the Illustrator, and I take real archive photos from the Greenwood Cultural Center and superimpose them with newer images. So here you have a picture. It says Little Africa on Fire.
Okay.
It's burning in the back.
Right.
And then Running the Negro Out of Tulsa. This was actually written on the photos. And then I took a boy and brought him up, put headphones, chains, and Nikes on him, because that's what people are more concerned with.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So then I
brainwashed.
Then I put nature, which is the only natural thing in the piece.
Okay.
So it's called Ain't Natural. It's like a play on words.
All right.
Yeah.
So Dawn Tree has a book. How can people find out about you? How do they get the book? How do what's the connection?
Yeah, you can contact me on my Facebook, which is Artista Dawn Tree, which is connected to this. Then I have a website, the letter U, tree, and the letter P.com. And you can click on the store and go to all of my merchandise, the book, and then I sell the prints individually also if you want them large or not.
Okay.
And the artwork I don't really post online so much.
But we see it here live.
Yeah, there we go. It loses
You saw some of the artwork live, everyone, so
But if you see something specific, feel free to hit me up direct. Yeah.
Awesome.
So I'm just out here touring. I'll be in Oklahoma next week, and I'll do an event there soon. So.
Do you have anything going on out there? Like, do you know the dates for the event?
Yeah.
I know you posted somewhere you had a tour
February
going on.
15th is the Heritage Festival in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Okay.
So,
February 15th is a Heritage Festival in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Put on by the Black Wall Street Market.
By the Black Wall Street Market.
Yes. Owned by Billy Parker.
Owned by Billy Parker.
She's putting it all on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if
That's
you're ever
amazing.
in Tulsa, go hit up the Black Wall Street Market and maybe make it a point to come to the Heritage Festival.
Sure, if I'm ever in Tulsa, I'm going to look you up and you're going to tell me what's going on in Tulsa.
Oh, for sure. I'll give you a tour, everything. Introduce you to the city councilwoman.
Yeah, we're making our rounds.
She's got a group economic fund called the Power Group.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you here, Dawn, and we appreciate you beautifying the walls with your art. And much more success to you.
Oh, thank you.
In your ventures and your creations. Do you run into any artist blocks ever? Like, you know how they have writer's blocks? Like sometimes writers don't know how to write or aren't sure what to write about. Do you ever run into that?
Maybe, and I'll go ride my bike or something, or walk through the forest. But when I was here in Baltimore, I probably came up with the biggest block. And I was actually trying to do like graphic work and everything else, but nothing was helping. And that's when I had to get more in depth with my spiritualness.
Okay.
And so I really had to kind of alleviate some things that were around me.
Yeah.
So
clear up the circle of influence.
There we go.
I always call it the circle of influence.
Yes.
It can be good or bad for you.
Yeah. And so, you know, I mean, I was already in the church, but I really had to up my spiritual game.
Right.
Yeah. So praying more, clearing my space out, you know, rebuking certain things that I think were hindering me out loud.
Right.
And that helped, you know. So that's the only time I can really think that I was blocked and I was here.
Sometimes you got to do that internal work.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always external, it's internal.
Right.
Sometimes we're blaming it on the economy and the market. I mean, we were told not to open this restaurant up at the height of the mortgage crisis. People thought we were crazy. We were going to leave our cushy jobs in corporate America.
Yeah.
But we did it anyway.
Yes. And you're thriving, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, you got to, you know, do what you got to do.
Right.
And the universe will take care of you.
Yeah, I say job, you know, God, you know, will take care of me. Because that's what usually happens. People show up when you're ready to do something. And I consider them like angels, you know. So
Yeah, I got you.
God is taking care. I mean, I consider y'all like angels, like seriously.
I totally understand, because we have our own angels too, so I know where you're coming from.
Yes.
Any last words?
Oh, last words. I'm an abstract, surrealist, international folk artist. If you know of any spaces in your area, feel free to reach out to me. Seattle, California, I'm ready to go on that West Coast side. Again, my website is utreepeak.com. My business is Underground Tree Studios. If you need a website, some graphics, I got you.
Awesome.
And yeah, I do murals also. So
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Do murals, all right.
and come to this place right here. It's the
Aaron
place.
said that's me in the background. Okay, Aaron, we see you, I guess. Hi. All right, Dawn, thanks again.
Yeah.
So once again, you are watching live at the Land of Kush, the Meet Up, Eat Up experience with Dawn Tree. And definitely come down. She'll have the artwork will remain posted here until it sells or until she wants to take it someplace else. So you have the opportunity to come down, check it out, buy all that type of stuff. And all the proceeds are going to her. We're not taking any commissions. She kind of swindled us into just.
No.
I'm just messing with you, Dawn. So 100% of the.
Also, if anybody really wants it.
She does payment plans, and you want to put a piece on layaway. So,
Yeah, I don't know about people though.
all right. Well, there you have it, Dawn Tree, y'all.
Thank you. Nigel, thank you.
Oh, no problem.